Unfortunately, when it comes to infidelity, these couples are not alone because according to research, having an affair is one of the most frequently cited reasons for divorce. Nicole says she thought she knew her husband of nearly 20 years and didn't think he had any secrets to hide. But all of that changed when Nicole says she uncovered a secret her husband Carter had been hiding for years. So what did she uncover? Well, Nicole discovered that Carter has been having a nearly 4-year-long sexual affair with a man.
Disgusted what Carter has done to me and my family. When I found out that my husband was having a 4-year affair, I was yelling and screaming, just an utter state of shock. I saw a text message of my husband showing himself to his friend, chatting about having sexual relations. I could tell that it was from a man, not a woman, and I was stunned. He sent a picture to this guy of himself, of his. They were talking about doing things to each other that I can't even say out loud. He clearly wanted to be with another man, doing things with another man, according to what the text said. I decided to call him, asking what the is going on, and I showed him the picture and said, yeah, really, there's no lying about this, that's you. The conversation seemed like they knew each other for some time and very well. After 17 years, I thought I knew everything about my husband. Right now, I don't know who I'm married to. This is not gonna work until we get completely to the bottom of it and get completely honest.
Carter says he told Nicole absolutely everything about his affair, but Nicole disagrees and says he's still lying and there's more that he's covering up.
When I confronted Carter, Carter tried to tell me he had no idea what the picture was, what I was talking about. Absolute, utter denial.
First, I did lie, and then slowly told her more and more and more.
He insists that he doesn't know what this guy's name is.
I swear to God, I don't know his name.
I don't believe for a minute that he doesn't know this guy's name. I don't believe for a hot minute. He just has his phone number. But he's had his phone number for 17 years. Who does that? Who does that? Hey, I'm gonna hook up with this guy again. I'm having troubles. We're not having a great marriage right now. What? It's all just insanity. It doesn't make any sense. I ask, then you had sex with this other man? No, Carter tells me only thing we did was and sex toys. What Carter tells me is that it's just a sexual release. That's it. A sexual thing, who gives a who it is?
Because I felt comfortable with him 17 years ago or 18 years ago, and that's why.
I don't believe that for one flippin' minute. I asked Carter if he thought he was gay, and he said, no, I am not gay. What I don't understand is if Carter is attracted to men, why not just come out and be gay?
Now, you believe 100% he's not telling you the truth.
He's absolutely not telling me the truth. I believe 100%, yes.
And let me tell you, my focus here is on the transaction between the two of you. I don't know whether he's gay or not. I think the worst thing in the world that you can do is force somebody to come out if they're gay, if they're not ready to, they're not in the circumstance that they want to do it, it's not the time that they want to do it. I mean, that's totally up to him. And it would be very disrespectful if he was to force that and cause him to do it when he's not ready to do it. But that's not the issue here. It may be an issue to you, of course it is. But the issue is he lying to you? Is he betraying you? Is he cheating on you? Is he now telling you the truth? Can marriages survive infidelity? Yes, they can. But it requires transparency and discussion and just really being honest with each
Right.
other about what's going on.
Right.
Let's take the fact that it's a man out of it. Just that he is being intimately involved, physically involved with someone else. It is a betrayal either way.
Right, and lies, just all.
Right. And you believe that he is lying to you.
I do.
He's told you that he's been involved with this individual for off and on for 18 years and never picked up their name?
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I mean, because you'd think that would come up in
Right.
casual conversation or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't seem credible to you.
No.
And the other man won't answer your calls, right?
He will not.
And you think that's because there's a bigger secret there?
I do. I think this guy's got something going. I think there's some deep stuff
Now,
going
he
on.
was involved with this person before your wedding, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and you've been married how long?
17 years.
So this predates the marriage because they've been
Correct.
knowing each other for 18 years.
Correct. Or
Okay.
longer.
And supposedly they were involved for 7 or 8 months 18 years ago.
7 or 8 months.
Well, he apparently has told you something different. Let's compare what he's told us with what he's told you. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Because there are some inconsistencies, I think, between what you've told us, he's told you, and what he's told us. He first told you that they met at a bar 18 years ago, and it was just a drunk hookup. He told us that they met on Craigslist, and it was a fling that lasted 7 or 8 months, and it only ended because he left the area. Then he tells you that it was a few times a couple of years ago, right?
Yes.
But then he told us that it's been the past 4 years on and off for about 6 months out of the year. And that there were sexual texts 1 or 2 times a week. Is that different than what he's told you?
Yes.
Okay. And then he told you he went looking for him on Craigslist and found him. And he told us he went on Craigslist just looking for someone, anyone, for companionship. But he told you that he went looking for this guy whose name he doesn't know on Craigslist.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Right? How do you do that? How it doesn't happen. No.
This has had a profound impact on you, correct? Because you had trouble with alcohol in the past, but you've been clean and sober for how long?
14 months.
Okay. This happened 12 days ago, and you relapsed when this happened, correct?
I drank for 3 days.
You want a 3-day binge to just numb this
I don't
out?
want to feel the pain.
Well, Carter is here. He says his 4-year affair with a man was nothing but a sexual fling. He says it means nothing to him. Mixed orientation marriages where one spouse is gay and the other is straight take place more than you may think. The only problem is one spouse may not know they are in one of those. Carter says despite his wife discovering his affair with another man, he insists that's not the case here because he says he's just simply not gay.
The affair with the man started 4 years ago. My affair was just an occasional fling. This man provided sexual gratification for me. There was no emotions involved whatsoever. My sex life with my wife, Nicole, was non-existent for years.
I just want to know the truth.
I've never had feelings for this man.
Does this mystery man have a family? Is he cheating and lying? Do they have a special bond?
I do not know the man's name. I would only see this guy at his apartment. I never confided anything to him. There were no conversations on the phone. It was all done in text, and they were just basically sexual. Or are you free? Are you available? We might text once or twice a week. I did see him mostly during the winter seasons.
Carter also plays sports during the week, and they hooked up on those nights.
It was easier for me to get away then.
Carter would tell me that the game didn't start on time or the previous game ran late.
6 or 7 months ago, my wife and I were in the process of buying a new house, and I did end it with him. I did tell him I was moving out of state to do the right thing for my family.
We just moved to this house. How is this supposed to work? Are you kidding me?
I did reach out to him a few days before Nicole found out. I was horny. I have told Nicole everything that has happened. I am not hiding anything else.
I'm still angry.
I said to her before you joined us, if you decide and you feel strongly in your heart that you're gay or bisexual or whatever, that's your business. It's your time to say so whenever you choose to say so. I hate it when somebody pushes somebody to do something they're not ready to do, so you're not going to hear that from me. What you are going to hear from me is that you owe it to her to be honest about what's going on in this relationship. And to me, that's important whether you're with a man or a woman, whether it's been 20 years, 5 years, 4 weeks, whatever. So putting aside who it's with, there are inconsistencies in what you've told us and what you've told her, and they can't both be right. So are you being completely honest and transparent with her about what you're doing?
Yes.
Well, because you're telling us a different set of facts than you're telling her in terms of how you met and when you see this person and
7, 8 months before we met, you said it was a hookup, drunk hookup.
I told her that it was at a bar. That I met him at a bar. That wasn't true.
And a couple times, it happened a couple times. 7, 8 months.
It wasn't every day, though. It was a couple times through the 7, 8 months. Mm-hmm. It was on and off during the winter season.
On and off. Can we define what on and off really is?
look, there's not a dance card or a scorecard here. She's wanting to know how involved you are in this situation and if you're being transparent with her.
On and off was maybe a couple weeks in a row, and then nothing for a couple weeks, and then maybe nothing for a month, and then maybe a couple weeks in a row. That's
and you don't know his name?
No, I do not. I never asked.
So you don't know his name, you don't know anything about him. I mean, he could be married, he could be a criminal, he could be a sex offender for all you know. You don't.
Correct.
You know nothing about him.
Right.
And I thought you went on Craigslist looking for him. You just went on Craigslist looking for someone for some companionship in the men seeking men section.
Maybe I was looking for him. Maybe he was out there, so I was looking at other men seeking men out there.
Went on Craigslist looking for someone, anyone for companionship.
To see if he was out there, because that's how I found him the first time, and I was comfortable with him the first time.
That's not what they say that you said. Just such... Come on, man.
I'm telling you the truth, though. I met him on Craigslist.
And
we got together here and there. It depended on his schedule, my schedule.
so that's a lot more than a couple times in the last 4 years.
And that was on and off for maybe 3, 4 years during the winter season.
This is much more than sex.
No, I have no feelings for the guy, though. It was purely a sexual release for me.
If I hadn't caught Carter in this affair, there's not a chance he would have even admitted it.
Honestly, I don't know if I would have ended it. I'm glad Nicole found out. I wish she would have found out years ago, because this has been mentally exhausting. For the last 3-4 years, on and off, I've been living a double life. I was very shocked that Nicole has not found out sooner.
Well, it's been just 12 days since Nicole discovered her husband Carter has been in a long-term secret affair. As it turns out, that affair is with a man. Carter says he doesn't blame his wife for him searching for companionship with another man. But on the other hand, he really sort of does. Take a look.
When Nicole was drinking, she would be angry, loud, belligerent, obnoxious.
I was drinking every day. I was just a drunken idiot.
Nicole got physical with me a couple of times.
I showed up to family events drunk.
One time, Nicole slapped me. She threw drinks on me.
I understand why Carter didn't want to deal with my crap anymore. He had an excuse to live a double life.
Nicole's drinking put a huge strain on our marriage. It was affecting her job.
I went to rehab 2 times. Carter tells me that he did not cheat on me with this guy when I was in rehab.
I'm not putting the blame on Nicole for what I've done, but I was thinking about leaving her over the years.
So his point is you've not been easy to live with. And your attitude is you don't deny it, you don't make excuses for it, and if he had left you, you wouldn't blame him. But if that's the case, leave you, don't do this. That's your point?
And don't tell me that you love me and that you want to be with me. I can never believe a word out of your mouth again, ever.
Do you think this whole marriage has been a sham?
Apparently, because I don't know this man who is supposed to be sharing our life together, lying from, I guess not the beginning, but really from the beginning.
Well, again, this is not about whether he's gay or whether he's not, but I can tell you that people evolve across time. Their awarenesses evolve, their connection to themselves and who they are evolves across time. And trust me, there are people that start into relationships believing one thing, and as time goes on, their acknowledgement of who they are and their awareness has changed. So that doesn't mean that this has been a bait and switch or something from day one, or that it is now. But I understand. That's why I said, that aside, you feel a sense of betrayal, whether it's with a man or a woman, doesn't matter. That part aside, you feel a sense of betrayal here. Do you get that?
Yes.
In the past 8 months, you've only had any connection between the two of you, any intimacy between the two of you, like one time, right?
My 3-day binge.
It was during the 3-day binge? Who initiated that?
Me.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I wanted to feel close.
And how did you feel?
Close.
What do you want from him?
Just the truth. Just leave. If you want to leave, just leave. If you want to be with a man, be with a man. I
I
don't
don't want to be with a man, no.
Well, apparently you don't want to be with me either.
I do want to be with you. You said you didn't want to, or you couldn't because of the medication, or...
Sex.
Yes.
I was trying to heal, and I'm sorry that
You don't have to apologize.
I'm sorry. Just trying to learn how to live sober. And I just didn't feel any of that. I didn't want any of that. I'm sorry.
Nicole says she's still in complete state of shock after learning her husband has been having an affair, apparently for a long time, off and on, he says. And even though he says he's been intimate with another man, he says he's not gay, he's not in love with that person, he doesn't want to be with that person. And that's really not what this is about, at least from my point of view. My point of view is the relationship dynamic between the two. Earlier this morning, I asked Carter to sit down with my colleague and very good friend, Coach Mike Baer. Now, Coach Mike is the CEO of Cast Centers, and he focuses on helping clients break free of destructive patterns, particularly behavioral patterns that are yielding results that they don't want. And a lot of those have to do with relationships. Doesn't have to do with mental illness. It has to do with us getting into behavioral patterns, individually and collectively, that are just yielding results that we don't want. And his New York Times best-selling book is called Best Self, Be You, Only Better. I consider him the best at helping people maximize their true potential and get out of these patterns. Here's what happened when he sat down with Carter.
Are you confused at all about your sexuality?
You know, I think I am, yes. I don't believe I'm gay. I just wasn't getting the sexual relationship from my wife that I had.
Why do you think you ended up with a man?
I just didn't want to deal with a woman that, at the time, in case I got her pregnant, in case I didn't call her back. I just wanted to get my sexual release and just move on.
What is it about a man that you enjoy?
It was, I don't know how to explain it. I knew he was there.
Uh-huh.
I basically would go in.
But you have no insight as to what about him turned you on?
No. At the time, you know, I was single, lonely. I was drinking a lot. I was probably depressed. I was probably, I don't know. Then I met my wife, Nicole, and there was nothing for years. And then whatever triggered my mind again, lonely, depressed, I don't know. And then I was looking for a man to get that release again, just because I was afraid I might get caught easier if I found a woman.
Do you think it's wrong to be gay?
No, I don't.
Could you be in a relationship with a man if you were single?
No. I like women. I don't know. I just don't think I could.
It seems to me that you're here because you want to make sure that your marriage stays intact.
Yes, that's.
And so anything you say, you may be scared that it could jeopardize that.
Yeah, but I don't, I mean, I've said everything, I've tried to explain everything, and I don't know how to explain it all right now.
Well, I think the missing link is you're not able to communicate why you're turned on by another man.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to figure out in my own mind, and it's not easy.
How'd you enjoy sitting down with Coach Mike?
It was good. Very nice, friendly.
Did you take anything away from it? Did it cause you to think about anything that you hadn't thought about before?
Yeah. That I need to figure out why. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's, like he said, I think there's like a missing piece, and I need to delve into the bottom of that in my brain and figure out what that missing piece is, and you know, come to the conclusion on why.
Well, coming to you, what'd you think about that conversation?
I thought that it was interesting. I just feel like there's something missing.
Coach Mike, what was your takeaway?
Felt like I was putting together a puzzle, and then every time I started to get a piece on the other one, it like morphed as soon as we got to something where I felt like, okay, this makes sense. So it felt like we were kind of grabbing smoke, and your default is to say, I don't know, or I'm confused. And I think you're just really scared to get honest about things.
Okay, Carter admits that if his wife of nearly 20 years had not caught him red-handed, he may never have ended his fling with this other man. Nicole says that she's reached her husband's lover, tried to reach her husband's lover with no luck. And I said, I've got a pivotal question for you. And so I want you to take a breath here and really listen to what I'm asking you here, because I think this is a real threshold moment for you. You have to make a decision to really come fully, transparently clean with this woman about everything. Your reflexive answer is, I'm telling her everything. No, you're not.
It's gonna hurt a lot worse if you don't just bottom line it and tiptoe around it.
You're telling me you've been involved with this man 18 years and don't know anything about him, don't know his name, don't know anything about him.
Right, I don't.
That is irresponsible. If that's true, I would rather you be a liar. I wanted to know who this person was. And it didn't take very long to find out, because I had a private investigator confirm the phone number that you've been communicating with that belongs to this man. And it's interesting. He confirmed that the phone number that Carr's been communicating with belongs to this man that we found. And he has a voicemail, and the voice on it is a man that's about the age that this person would be. You says the fling ended 18 years ago, which is 2001, because the man left the area. Well, actually, he did leave the area because he went to jail in 2001. And he's been in jail 7 of the last 14 years. The man was released from prison about 4 years ago. You reconnected about 4 years ago. That him?
Yes.
Thought so. Do you know why he's in jail?
I didn't know he went to jail, no.
Well, you can learn a lot about him on the sex offender registry. Count 1, causing a child between 13 and 18 to view sex. Count 2, exposing genitals to a child. Misdemeanor A. They dismissed that on the prosecutor's motion when he pled to the other thing, and he's on the sex offender registry until 2024. So that's 20 years on the sex offender registry. You said you knew his last name.
I found out from the mailbox of his apartment.
Yeah. But you think you'd want to know what I just told you?
Yes.
You say less, yes, like maybe?
No, yes, I would have liked to have known. Or... Sorry, I'm in shock right now.
Those are just a few of the charges. It goes on. The guys we fill in the screens. So I said I'd rather he be lying. Do you want to see the man? The picture?
Yes.
My child thinks I'm a liar.
Our child is angry and not talking to Carter right now.
My child and I aren't as close as we used to be, and I miss that dearly.
Our child was home the day that I discovered the text. I did not reveal what the text said, but I remember the look of shock on our child's face.
My biggest fear is losing everything. My wife, Nicole, my child, our new home. I fear losing it all.
Nicole says her husband's affair has not only shattered her heart, but also destroyed their child's trust. Now, Carter says his child won't even look at him now, and obviously this has had a profound effect. What do you have to say to Nicole?
I'm sorry. I feel horrible.
Sex offender. Did you see the?
Yes, I saw that.
Does that make you want to throw up?
Yes, it does.
You keep going back to this guy. Does he know where we live?
No.
And you don't.
I'm in shock right now, too, and
Come on.
Well, I just informed Carter about the man that he's been involved with. Before the break, I asked Nicole if she wanted to see a photo of him. Do you want to see that photo?
Yes. What is happening?
nothing's happening now.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. There was sex.
There wasn't. He
That
tried.
is a
And I said, no.
lie. Oh my God.
So you never communicated that anything sexual in nature to him?
Oh, I did.
Like,
Certain things I wanted to do, but never did.
Right, but you wanted to.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
there's no
So
possibly
can we
yes.
just-
It's,
Well,
it's
then
either-
yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's who you are,
But I don't
I'm not
believe-
gonna love
I
you
don't
any less.
believe
I'm gonna
that's
love
who I
you
am.
less for keeping this charade and lying. And if that's what you want, let's find somebody safe. Let's like
I don't
not
believe that's
be
what I
doing
want.
something
I
with
don't
a
know right
criminal
now.
that has a sex offender record.
I don't believe that's what I want. I don't know right now. That's where I'm confused and torn and everything else.
Now, let me be selfish on your behalf for a minute. You have coped and self-medicated with alcohol in the past. Are you vulnerable to going back to that with all this weighing on you when you leave here?
Yes.
Because I don't want that to happen. And if you need support during that time, then I want to give it to you. Let me tell you, the first 14 months, they're the toughest. And you got through those, and you've had a rough patch here. I don't want that to get all thrown away here. And so if you need help with that, I've asked somebody to come here. This is Brooke McKenzie. Brooke is the director of clinical outreach for the New Method Wellness, and as well as Deanna Crosby, who is the director of New Method Wellness. And this is a treatment center that utilizes solution-focused therapies like equine therapy, nutritional counseling, as well as family therapy. And I asked them to come here because I knew that you had had a bad relapse, and I wanted to offer you the help and support, whatever it needs to be, to get through this time and not sacrifice everything that you've worked so hard for. You guys get what's happening with her here, right?
Absolutely. Nicole, one of the things I want to say is, wow, I'm really, really impressed with how you've shown up here today. And I want you to know that myself, Deanna, we're both here as your ally. We're both here as your advocate. It's so phenomenal that you've accomplished 14 months of sobriety. I can't imagine the work and commitment that required. We want to stand up for you today, be here to support you, nurture you, embrace you. I think one of the key items that we can offer you is a discovery path of kind of understanding what your truth is. And we want you to be with us, to be sober with us, and we want to lend you some of the tools that are going to be required for you to navigate through this. And with your relationship with your husband, we're going to be there for you through all of that, okay? And we hope that you'll accept that gift.
And one of the things that y'all do so well is involve the family in this. And I think you need somebody to help you untangle this ball of yarn. And I want to get you some professional help with that starting right now. And don't pull any levers in your relationship until you get this figured out. Can you do that? Will you take that help?
Yes.
Do you want the help?
Yes, I think I need the help, yes.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.